really interesting. Wow. Yeah, really interesting how he considered the fold so heavily because people just under bluff in these $400 tournaments. It's really, really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, what are his bluffs? You know, like if we really think about it, like sure, ace high has some showdown value if you had ace five, and when he raises the turn with maybe some backdoor diamond draw or something like that, he actually gets called. And on this kind of board, like what hands do you have that you're folding?
And it's gonna have some misdraws and things too. So I think calling is the only option myself. Let's see if Boogaloo got away from it. Ooh, call is 6.
So this is close between call.
Really interesting. So call is 6, raise is 7,500 is 10 points. And I'm going to say he said that because this is a very bad player. And so he thinks the very bad player is going to stack off here with worse queens a lot. I'm going to guarantee that's what he's going to say. Very interesting, though. I thought call for sure was the right answer. I never am in this spot. I don't know. Interesting spot, too. I think this is a little bit of a lesson for everyone out there, too. A lot of times, the hands we want to float with, like this one, are better as raises. So this kind of falls in that category.
Yeah, and he was kind of an echo chamber for us there, saying, you know, we just get better hands to call and worse to fold.
Yep.
Like he's going to have some gut shots in his range. He's going to have spade draw. He's going to have king X. And we kind of know, I mean, we kind of identify kind of what cards are going to be bad for us on future streets. And we're aware how to proceed on those cards.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's a very good point. You right.
That was the best. You didn't say anything. You won. Just straight up.
You won. I'm just spewing.
All right, so ooh, look at this. You're not opening this. You just looked at this. You're not opening.
Button cut off, hijack, low jack, under the gun one. You are right.
Come on now. Okay. I am. So let's see if he.
He's got to open it, or there wouldn't be a hand.
It wouldn't be a
I'm already
quiz.
down on points.
You're already down on points in real life. Now, obviously, you're gonna cheat, but
I'm gonna evolve.
you're gonna adapt, right?
All right, let's play it.
I'm going to cry if he says he's folding here. Like, if he's like, yeah, you should be folding this in this kind of tournament, and you were actually right. All right, cool.
Wah, wah.
Like a spot where we have
Ah!
standard.
Yes.
And the reason is because queen.
I just want to say for the record, that this is the best 3-point score I've ever gotten in my life. Because the right answer was fold.
The right. But you heard what he said about the tables. This is a 3K.
Here comes the excuses. 10
The
points
excuses
fold.
to
It says
open
right
if your
here.
table is particularly tight and weak. Welcome to the $5 2K world. I mean, you know, the $11 10K. I'm opening this, yeah, for sure.
This is the best 3 points of my life.
Oh, that's hilarious. And everybody's 50.
Nailed it. What the hell kind of play is that from King Queen? Who does that?
What the hell? Yeah, so Mad Dog.
Jonathan Little's an absolute crusher, so it's nice to have him.
Yeah, I agree, and I
Just
always love
coaching.
playing right after sessions like this because I feel like my brain's warmed up. I'm thinking through things, and so it's a good way to start your session for sure.
Right. All right, guys, this is it.
What's up, Mike? You want to give a gist? He was saying Narco Cop was playing about D-pipping about 28% of hands. He had been very aggressive in this $10 buy-in, and here are the options to fold, to call, to raise to 1,200, raise to... What? Wait a minute, he made it 800, and my man's giving options to 12 and 1,400 after. So it's already getting kind of spicy. That's so nasty. To be on the site with these other crushers, you know, well-known poker public figures is pretty exciting, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I didn't mention that when I was kind of giving a little intro here too. You know, Assassinato, Matt Affleck, John Little, all coaches on the site, so very highly respectable, quality poker content.
Yep, Evan Jarvis as well. You know, remember Evan Jarvis, Matt Affleck, Assassinato, John Little.
Yeah, so I guess that just makes sense. He just have the ace of clubs in his hand. That's interesting, though. I
How
thought
many
that was
points you got?
interesting.
You didn't do that bad. 45.
I like how you just pat me on the back. You didn't do that bad. Well, yeah, good job, buddy. Like,
The back.
I remember I got the higher score in the first one. So, you know, we're 1 for 1, buddy.
I just want to know.
Calling, guys. Let's see if we're good.
Similar situation. That's pre-flop? I think pre.
All right, guys, we're checking, I guess. Oh, for fuck's sakes.
One of the things I see people when it comes to poker is when you can get to the turn and there's an opportunity.
When you're facing a min raise or just a touch more than a min raise, and there's an ante in play, which is going to be the case in most tournaments, I think, going forward, you want to defend pretty wide. If your opponent's making a 2.
All right, cool. You're going 1,400.
I'm going 1,400, guys.
I'm gonna go call with the arm and just see what happens.
All right, and
I would fold in game though, for the record, in case that's the winning end.
You won. You win. I have to concede. You win.
14K.
14K, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Well, no, we cannot win. This is a pretty rough spot because damn it.
Mm-hmm. Where you gonna get my chat? They like naughty things. They like just beer, alcohol, you know.
All right, let's do I can do a $10 ACR giveaway.
$10 ACR giveaway courtesy of my man Toe. For me beating that ass heads up in this. Sorry. No, I'm kidding. We'll do this. We'll have to do it at least once a week, man. And then, you know, we'll do it. We'll do it every week a couple times.
So it's a tie.
I guess we got to give out $10 to each other's communities. We'll just do our own $10 free roll for each. Or does that sound fair?
Yes. You know what this means.
You win. I give his chat $10. Take it.
So that's cool because we have 2 ties and then a win from you and a win from me. This is like the epic battle. It's perfect. It's great.
Yeah, we're even Stevens.
This is awesome.
Take it.
I love it.
You know,
Stop. We got a giveaway going. Let's run the giveaway for the $10 ACR winner. Closing the giveaway. Drawing the winner. My man Sebs are getting the $10 ACR giveaway for this one. Hey, what's up, guys? Good morning. Sorry we're late. It's my fault. It's my fault. I set this up with StonedLife, and oh damn, I gotta fix this. I set this up with StonedLife, and I was supposed to get him set up with Skype so we could talk and all that. And I, for some reason, thought that Sixes set this up, and that ain't the case. So we had to get that done on the fly, and we're here. You listen. Pro command's already going in the pokercoaching.com Discord. You guys know we're pretty good. We're pretty good. And yeah. So here we are. Pokercoaching.com study stream. If you're not here before, this is your chance to be a chat pro. Welcome, 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 welcome. What we do is we go over these quizzes. We see what you would do. We say what we would do. We see what the coach would do. And then we move on. If my chat beats Six's chat, we do a giveaway. If Six's chat beats my chat, or vice versa, you get the point. Let's bring in the guests here. We got. Are you ready? Everybody out there?
oh yeah, there he is. What's up, my dude?
What's up, man? Sorry, I was doing a stream and apologizing for a second.
Yeah. You started late. I was all ready. I'm usually the one that's late, and then you're like, "Oh shit!" Like,
Yeah.
That's funny.
I suck.
It's all good, man. No, you're the legend. It's okay. You can do what you want.
I like this. Cool. Let me. You want to give a dealio, Bob, about what the hell's going on here, Sixes, and then I'm gonna get my shit together.
Yeah, while Toad's getting his shit together, if you're new to the stream, what we do here, we go over some content here on pokercoaching.com. Myself and Toad create a little content, do some quizzes. They also have a lot of other top tier coaches on the site: Jay Little, Matt Affleck, Paraj Jaka, Tristan Wade, Evan Jarvis, Lexi Gavin, Michael Acevedo, and I'm sure I'm missing someone. But yeah, there's a lot of content all these coaches create. James Romero as well. And there's courses, homework. Check this out. If you can see my screen now, there's also charts built in. If you're trying to work on your game as well with charts, staking opportunities. So there's all that. And we also have a special guest this week, StonedLifePoker, man. Like I was saying before, he's a crusher, someone's game I really respect. Does a lot of streaming for Global, crushes the site. But yeah, man, you want to say anything? Introduce yourself a little bit. Can you hear me? Stoned.
Oh yeah, can you hear me?
Oh yeah. What's up, my dude? You want to introduce
I have
yourself?
my mic muted. Sorry.
That's all good, man.
Morning, guys. Stone Life Poker. I'm sure you guys have all seen me on the Global Poker channel. But pretty excited to be here. I think it's really cool. Really cool thing they do.
Do you only play on Global?
No, I occasionally play on Bet Online and Ignition, but ever since the fields, everything got big on Global with the Corona stuff.
It's gold.
I just been filling everything up with just Global.
And I think I just saw recently, like, you weren't even going to play today, and you shipped the $55 some shit. Like, you're always shipping the $50 some shit.
Yeah, he's a beast, guy. He's a very good player. And you can find him on the Global channel. He also has his own channel. So we'll make sure to throw him some love on Twitter as well. Make sure to give this man a follow. Let me get a command for my dude.
Cool, me too. What's up, shooting for Global? Says Kazar. He lays things out well. Pleasure to watch. Awesome. All right, guys, welcome. We got here. Dr. Mason, bunch of subs. Quick question now and sell out there. What's up, guy? Homie's nuts. Good. All right, chat's going too crazy, and I'm too late to go through it all. I appreciate all the love. Want to pick some quizzes?
Yeah, let's do it, man. So yeah, feel free if you're in the chat, if you're new here, to just chat pro it up, give your opinion on how you would proceed. It is kind of like multiple choice, but we're here to get better, and there's no real wrong. It's not costing us money, so play like you would normally play the spot, and we're gonna learn from what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong, and at least get a different opinion from a top tier player.
Absolutely.
But yeah, one that's catching my eye is a 10K in King 8 suited. I love me some King 8 suited. So 830 is looking real good to me.
Oh, well. 8. Got it. Who's down?
Cool. I haven't done this one, so yeah.
I haven't done this one either.
All right, cool.
Let me switch screens real quick and get the volume ready. Damn, this streaming thing takes a lot of work.
It does so many things. All right, let's do it.
Here we have King 8 of clubs in a $10,000 six-handed tournament facing a raise from a tight aggressive player from the cutoff. Folds around us in the big blind. Should we fold, call, re-raise to 5,200, or re-raise to 8,000?
All right, guys. Easy spot.
All right, I think I got to mute it 1 second.
Facing a little bit more of a min raise.
All right, there we go. All right, boys, what are we doing with the King 8 suited to a tag cut off open? What do we like here? Anybody 3-betting, calling, folding? What are you guys thinking? Let's see, chat. I'm seeing calls in my chat.
Let's see what chat wants here.
Joe probably still has me muted because he's a rookie today.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I was being polite.
No, being polite. Calls. I'm seeing nothing but calls in my chat. How's the Toe Army doing?
Toe Army's doing good. I was catching up in my chat. I see Wayne Brain asking for the format. We said it. We covered it, right? We're going to take these quizzes. You guys tell us what you would do. We said what we would do. We do some giveaways. Welcome. I'm glad you made it. Hold'em nuts out there. A bunch of first-timers, which is awesome. I see call 5,200, call 5,200, call Call 52. There's some 8K. There's some aggressive ones out there.
Yeah, I see nothing but calls in my chat and 1 3-bet. Reynolds says 3-bet. We don't really want to see a flop, do we? I'll hand this off to our special guest, Stone Life. What do you like in this spot, buddy?
Man, I'm calling all day.
Calling all day.
If I was gonna raise, I'm not 5,200. You're just clicking it back. I would make it 8K, but no, this hand's too strong. You don't want to get blown off this pre-flop.
Yeah, it has a lot of playability. We can use maybe a more polarized 3-betting strategy.
Yeah,
here
like a king 3 suited or something. I would 3-bet fold, but man, king 8 suited is too strong.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think I flat a lot in game. I know that, like, because I've studied with him, I know Jonathan likes the 3-bet. These are like some of his 3-bet bluffs. So I'm not sure if he does that here. I totally agree that the 8K would be the way to go if you're going to bluff it instead of clicking it back. The only problem with that is we have like an awkward stack size, which is going to lead me toward call. Something interesting in my chat, someone said if he was loose, he would 3-bet, and if he was tight, he would call. I actually think I would kind of do the opposite. Like, if he's tight, you're going to get more folds, but if he's loose and sticky, you're going to get 3-bet, and you're going to get called, and you're going to play the pot out of position, and that gets weird. So that was just a thought that went to my head. How do you feel about that, Sixes?
If you are going to 3-bet here, I'm sorry.
Would you rather 3-bet a loose guy or a tight guy? Because a tight guy's opening cutoff, he's still going to have queen jack and king queen and king 10, jack 10, and things that he can fold or get pushed off of later, right? Just because he's tight doesn't mean he only has ace king and pairs, right?
Yeah, well, one thing I'm going to take in consideration is our utility. If we 3-bet fold a hand like this, we're going to be mid-20s. I think just flatting this hand plays well enough post-flop for me. And I would prefer maybe to be a bit deeper. I think it does have, because he just has to come over the top. I mean, he doesn't have to come over the top, but I'm just saying, like, it looks really strong when we do 3-bet off this stack here. But I would prefer to maybe use a slightly worse hand. And obviously, our strong hands as well. So I think this is right in the middle and it plays well enough. And I really don't care to get 4-bet off this particular combo.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I'm flatting.
Yeah, I'm flatting a lot in game.
Yep, definitely.
Let's do it.
All right.
This is a very easy call. King 8 of clubs is great. It flops amazingly well. We're getting great pot odds. Really, everything's going for us here. I would call with much weaker hands, especially with my 32 big blind stack. Make sure you're aware as you get shorter, you actually get to defend wider because you can easily get it all in whenever you flop any pair. Whereas if you're deeper stacked, you have to be a little bit more cautious. That said, I am literally always defending with King 8 in this scenario, no matter what the stacks are, against pretty much anyone. As long as we're facing a min raise. So, we are facing the small raise we're going to be calling. And then checking every flop. I already know I'm going to be checking every flop with this hand because the only times you want to lead are when the board is low and connected. And when it's low and connected, I'm usually going to have either a top pair type hand that's going to want to check because you want to be leading with your best made hands or your draws. And if I do have a draw, it's usually a very good draw that can easily check call or check raise. So this is a hand that I am always checking the flop. So we do check the flop, and the opponent now bets 2,500. Should we fold, call, raise to 6,700, or raise to 8,700?
All right, guys. Next decision point. We call, we hit a king, and he c-bets at us. What the hell are we doing now?
Yeah, someone says, do we essentially check off flops? He kind of already he touched on that, which is, we do have
check the aggressive, right?
Well, not always. He said some low connected type flops that smash our range way more than his range and puts like his 1-pair combo, 1-pair hands in a tough spot. 4, 5, 6 type boards and things like that. But yeah, anything in most boards like this, we're just checking. All right, what are we doing? Peanuts just calling. JL doesn't dunk. He says he does a little bit.
Hold'em His Nut says, we were in Six's study group last night. We are... it was a little aggro, and it's new territory for us. What'd you do to my guy, Sixes?
I'm sorry. I destroyed the boys last night.
That's why I brought him in, Hold'em His Nuts. I brought him in to melt your brain. Poker players wake us early. Am I dreaming? These are the ones that are hungry to get better. Pokemon, thank you for the first time follow and
Ooh.
attendance to the Sunday stream. Welcome. We do this every Saturday. Marginal Wayne
Noise.
calls us Wayne. Sip a call, snap call. I like to call here at Marginal Land.
I see all calls and
Call.
16.7K from Noisy Mind.
Why is he so angry?
Yeah, I know. I mean, when we check raise, are we going with it? He becomes back over the top. You know, like what are we accomplishing when we check raise folding, check raise go broke? What worse hands are going to go broke? You know, when we check raise King 9-3. There's not too many draws other than gut shots we can have, and then we have two pairs and sets, and he can still have all the better kings.
Yeah, when I'm
I
in spots
personally
like this in general, the first thing I ask myself is, does my hand need any protection of any kind? You know what I mean? Because like with 31 bigs, I'm gonna try and get a pair of kings in, you know. And I'm thinking to myself, like, are there scare cards on the turn? This combo, not really. It can get weird on the turn, but I don't think like a 10 or a jack or a queen are gonna scare me quite yet. So I'm okay with check call in this spot myself. Versus if this was like, I don't know, king queen with two hearts, I'd be more inclined to get it in now, you know.
right.
Things get weird on the turn.
What do you think about this, Stone Life?
Oh, I'm always just calling here on this drive board. You know, our hand, we're either way ahead or way behind. We don't need protection. If we raise, all we do is we just let him play his hand perfectly.
Correct.
He just folds his misses and he just gets it in with better kings and, you know, aces if he has them.
Right, and then by calling, we allow him to potentially double barrel bluff. He may use some of
He'll
those
have some back
queen
doors
jack
that'll come in that'll
10.
barrel.
Yeah, I mean he'll turn some of
Diamond,
those
the heart.
queen X, jack X, trying to make a 9X or a 3X fold, or betting
Yep.
twice with those type of hands. So we want to give him an opportunity to bluff with worse hands, for sure, and mitigate the times he does have, you know, a much stronger hand. So yeah, I think call is best personally.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
While our hand is probably strong enough to check raise and just get it in, we don't really have very many obvious draws that we want to check raise in this scenario. And also, it's very easy for the opponent to just have a better king that we really don't want to get our money in against. So with top pair bad kicker type hands from out of position, you're going to find that you usually just want to check call, because that induces bluffs on the turn in the river from the opponent, and it also makes it to where every once in a while when you are beat, you don't get stacked. Whereas if you check raise the flop, you're just always getting stacked. You may say, well, in my games, I can check raise the flop and then fold if they jam on me. Well, congrats. That's not what we're playing here. We're not playing a game against very weak, straightforward players. We're playing a $10,000 tournament against a presumably very good, tight, aggressive player. So this is a spot where I'm just going to call. Turn is a 10. We check. We're going to be checking every turn again. Opponent bets 5,500. Should we fold, call, raise to 12,200, or go all in?
Now it gets tricky.
Yeah.
Good time.
And is
Double
our stack-
barrel.
Do we start the hand with 34,900, or is it going down as we go? I feel like that it didn't go down when we. Am I tripping?
I'm
I
not
guess
sure.
what I'm asking is this 5,500 subtracted or 34,900 subtracting 5?
No, this is right. Yeah,
This is right?
this stack is right.
Yeah,
'cause
we
he
had
32
30K. Yeah, we had 32 bigs.
My bad.
And he bet 2.5 bigs on the flop or something.
My bad.
So
I'm
this
gonna
is
wait
right.
10 minutes.
Because we had 31. Yeah.
Says Rad Dad.
Ooh. I see a fold. BQ says he's folding.
Weird if I call.
Mongo
Folding,
says jail tilts me sometimes, he says. Call again, I guess, but probably calling the river as well. Not the best spot. Johnny, if he triples here, it's pretty tough. But I can certainly see call, Peanuts calling.
Everybody in my chat's calling. Kazar calling. Ginger's out there calling. Wayne Brain says call when we're street.
Call. Now you said it.
I mean, man, like folding doesn't seem crazy bad. I don't know that I'm doing it, but it doesn't seem crazy bad.
We literally just had this discussion on the flop regarding
Is that a
good
good bluff
cards for
card?
him to barrel.
Sure.
Yeah, it is. I
Sure.
mean, yeah, for sure.
I said I
Because
didn't think I was doing it, but you know, for those of you folding, like I don't know.
calling, where are you in your range? Well, our turn call should freeze up a lot of his bluffs. We're gonna have a lot of King X when we call twice, and on the flop we can call with some gut shots. We can call with the 9X, a 3X, ace highs. But by calling the double barrel, I think it should freeze him up enough. He can have some 10X. Did we keep betting some hands? Ace Queen, Ace Jack, just double barreling, trying to make a 9 or 3X fold. So yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like we should definitely be calling.
Yeah, I don't think you can. If you can fold this hand, it'll be on the river because it's a tag, and they aren't usually triple barreling without.
Yeah, I mean, he could still have some ace 10, some ace queen, some ace jack, some jack 10. They're just gonna bet turn, and then just try to show down their hands, and our turn call could freeze up the action, and we could still have the best hand a lot.
Yeah, when they check, then we can just bomb rivers, and that makes it super awkward for a hand like Jack 10. And so if they just bet, they set their own price and stop that from happening on the river, we're going to check.
You could think
When
he's
you bet
value
slice,
betting
right? So
ace 10 against a 9 or a 3.
Sounds right to me. Jellyfish says fold so many bet river cards, tag free, bet flop, and turn. Sure, but I think we kind of covered that. So I think
There's a ton of
probably have
good
to go-
river cards as
and then
well.
if we were any shorter, we would just be getting it all in, right?
Check raising turn. I mean, what would be the purpose in that?
So if
I
you
would not
had,
be check raising
20
turn.
bigs
You're
behind,
way
you're
over
still gonna
repping your
flat.
hand if you check turn.
So here's my question: if you have 20 bigs behind, you're just gonna check call that
Check call.
and get down
Yes.
to
Yes.
like
We check
13?
call because the same rules apply. Like we get
just
better to
never
call
fold.
or worse to fold.
You're just never folding river. On the
Better
shorter
to call.
stack?
I mean, we can't say
On this
never,
stack, you might fold river.
I mean, but how often are you going to get tripled off this stack that even when you're shorter when you call two bets as a bluff? You know,
Oh, so
I don't think you're going to get triple barrel bluffed as often. And when we check raise turn, we get better to call and worse to fold.
Yeah, not by a tag at least. If it's a maniac or something, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, because a maniac can maybe call you at a 10 or something, but
Tags will double barrel.
And
a
it's
lot, but they
queen
rarely
jack.
triple barrel bluff.
Sure.
Right. Will he fold to a check raise on a turn if he does not have a king? Probably. So then we're
Why
getting
would we want
worse
him
hand
to?
to fold. Yeah, because we want that hand
Yeah, we want
to
those hands to continue.
potentially keep bluffing. Yeah, and then if we check raise and he does call, he's just going to call you with the better. You know, you're not getting called by a worse hand.
I'll call
But,
turn and lead river with a jam all in, lucky label. The problem then is that, like, are we leading the river for value? If so, like, what's worse that calls? And if are we leading the river as a bluff? And our hand is a
You
little
just
too
let him
strong
play
for
his
that.
hand perfectly.
Yeah.
You never want to let the guy play his hand perfectly.
Exactly.
If you jam the river, he just gets the call when he beats you and fold when he doesn't.
Right.
What am I ranging him on the turn? Jack 10, Queen 10. As far as things
Ace
that don't
10,
have the
ace
speed.
queen, ace jack,
Sure.
10 8. I mean, 10, well, not 10 8. Well, 10 8 could be in his opening. He's tagged,
Ace,
so.
10, 2 nines, 3.
Yeah, I mean,
Jack. That looks like a
You
pretty
get
good
double
raise.
barrel 4s, 5s,
Crazy.
6s, trying to get you off.
9. Yeah, 9. Yeah, I think this is
Queen jack,
an easy
of course.
call, personally. Let's do it.
It's a super
Just
cheap bluff for him.
like
And you
on
got
the flop. We have a very marginal made hand that we would like to continue inducing bluffs, right? So if we raise, what's going to happen is our opponent's going to get it all in almost entirely with better hands. I mean, every once in a while he may call off like Queen 10 or Jack 10. But notice we now lose to additional hands. Queen Jack, which is an obvious one. King 10, which we were already losing to. 10 9, pocket 10s, right? These are all hands that our opponent would raise pre-flop, definitely bet small with on the flop, and then definitely keep betting the turn. So our hand actually got downgraded a bit on this turn, so we now need to be a little bit more cautious. So, easy call. The river is the 8 of diamonds, giving us 2 pair. Great. Should we check? Bet 8,200, bet 16,200, or go all in?
Take on this one, but we'll let everybody.
the spiciest
This
river
is-
card.
Yeah. BQ says check raise, chase your goals, Ish Flop, Kazar, Wayne. Thank you guys for those follows. Appreciate
Hey,
that,
what's up, Kimmers?
guys.
Yeah, I didn't talk about it, but
8.2
32 months for
lead.
Self. Thank you for the resub. 20 months for Quick. Thank you for the resub, Rodney. I appreciate you guys.
Ooh, I'm seeing a couple people leading out 8.2,
It's really
8.2.
interesting. I
If-
don't know if I'm doing it, but I have some thoughts on that. The one card he fears
Oh,
is Arena Runner. He feared getting the
whoops.
2-pair. Now, now
Whoops, I
he's,
was muted. I muted my own stream and I forgot.
that's all right.
So yeah, we're seeing some 8.2s, check call river. Whoops. Check call. And somebody's saying 12K. Wow. Okay.
Interesting thing about the lead out is how often do you think he checks back river? Even with hands like King Queen.
I don't think he checks back King Queen
You
personally.
don't think he checks back King Queen after he fires twice and we're still here?
No.
All straights get in there.
Would you check back King Queen?
Bet flop, recall, bet turn, he called. Probably not King Queen, but I'm
No.
good.
I mean, I'm betting King Queen, King Jack here. I'm pretty sure.
But I would
so.
probably check back like King Jack because we don't beat very much else, right? Like
I mean,
we lose to King 9, we lose to King 8, we lose to King 10, we lose to King Queen. So King Jack I'd probably check, but not King Queen.
we
I
start
think
to add. Well, the
too
big
good
blind
of a top
defending also has King 2, King 4, King 5, King 6, King 7.
Yeah.
All in the. If we have King 8, we have some offsuit kings as well, suited, worse single pair king hands.
I agree. I just think there's a lot more. I think betting King Jack is a little bit is much worse. I'm not going to say a little bit.
Yeah,
I'd probably bet King Queen though.
I
don't know. So that's why I thought the lead out was a little interesting. Like I said, I'm probably checking the aggressor and check calling myself, but I think the lead out is kind of interesting because I think he checks back river a lot.
Okay. What are you thinking, Stone Life?
I don't know. I'm torn. I think my gut, like my default, would just be to check, and because the 8 really, it looks like it changes, but it doesn't really change the board at all. I think the board dynamic didn't change at all. So like, what are we leading?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like, I think when by checking here, we allow him to still bet some of the same value hands. Because I personally think he's still going to be betting. If he's attacked, he still has his king, queens, ace, kings, king, jack. He might bet. Queens probably isn't going to bet. So I think he is going to bet. So I would be inclined to allow him to keep betting, small percentage of the time bluff. And then whatever hands we're going to bet, he's probably going to – I don't think he's going to be checking back much. When we lead, I don't think he can call with enough, man.
That's interesting. Yeah.
He loses some of his
Like
bluff.
I said, I don't think I do it. I just thought it was interesting. Lucky Label says, King Jack has a jack blocker, though. Why check back? My only argument there was that I don't think guys defend, like, King 5, King 4, King 3, King 2 offsuit very much. And so that only leaves a little suited bit of the suited combos of those things, which I do think they defend. And then we don't beat King 9, we don't beat King 10, we don't beat King 8, beat King 7, we beat King 6, and then we don't beat King Queen. So I just think his king range is better than ours when we have the jack kicker, was my thought. When we have the queen
King
kicker,
Jack, you could bet fold King Jack if you just never
could
thought
bet
like
fold King Jack. I
I
wouldn't
would.
get that either.
throw out 8K and just bet fold it.
Yeah.
You get a lot of value. Random 9s and 10s will call you.
Not
But is it
only
worth opening? Is it really worth reopening the action if you're in position for 8K?
It would be
Like,
player dependent. If I thought he wasn't the guy that was ever gonna check raise bluff me there.
Fair
It's just-
enough.
If he just only has 2 pair or better when he jams on your river bet, I'd be fine doing it.
Fair enough. I'm just generally going to go half pot or bigger.
Daniel says,
and
tags
if
check
I
back
can-
King Queen all day here in his opinion. They shouldn't, though. Jack Rack, what's up? Kimmers, what's up? Think tag is checking, but we can lead in all the straights. Yeah, I mean, there's a few of those. If we check
I'm very
here, we're just
interested- I'm
calling, right? Yes. I would
I
say
mean,
yes.
we have the king. We block his value hands. He's mainly just got crap here.
And if we check
So-
raise, if we check raise the river, like, to get value from what, Joe? Like ace king and king
Aces.
queen.
and aces, right?
You know?
All right, I'm checking. You going to lead here?
Did you have after we're checking we can still fold? Do not think we can fold 2 per.
I don't want to mess my perfect score up.
He wants to swish.
And if we check and he jams, I'm happily calling. I'm fist
I
pumping.
mean, we got two per, right? Like, I don't think I'm folding.
Yeah.
All right, let's check and see what happens.
Yep.
This is a very easy check. Because even though we do have the best hand here a lot, realize that if we lead and get called, well, what are we going to get called by? We're going to get called by a king, which those are going to feel at least somewhat inclined to value bet themselves. Like, say our opponent does have ace king or king queen. He's probably just going to bet, right? And if he does check, that's okay. Notice, though, that whenever we do bet and we get raised, it is a disaster. So by leading, we don't induce bluffs from whatever sporadic bluffs the opponent could still have, like ace jack, ace queen, maybe like loose opens with like queen 5 suited, maybe hands like 8-7 that decide they're not good enough to check back, maybe stuff like pocket fours, etc., right? We would really, really, really love to get those hands to bluff. So this is a situation where we definitely do not want to have a leading range at all. We're just going to check to the turn aggressor, the flop aggressor, pre-flop aggressor, and if he does bet, we are going to have a very easy call. This time, though, it goes check, check, and we win a nice pot. A lot of people look at this spot and think, oh, man, he, like, say it does go check, check, and he shows king, jack, and, you know, maybe he would have called a river bet. The problem with that is that he doesn't always have king, jack. So, yeah, we do lose a little bit of value against exactly a king, but we also extract a lot of value from bluffs, and if we check and our opponent bets, like, any amount, we save money when he happens to have the hands that beat me. So, check, check, and we win a nice little pot.
Beautiful.
Start off with a swish.
Beautiful. Just, yeah. That's a good way to start. Well played.
I don't know what this guy had.
I know, I'm going to know. He just, he just fired it in the mug.
Right?
Nah, this is live. He threw that shit right in the mug.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he fired it in the muck as an L. What's up, Travesty? All right, cool.
Keo
Let's
says,
do
I
it.
can already say this is awesome. Doing quizzes by yourself is one thing, but this is great. Thank you, guys. Hey. So
Yeah,
on that note, we get to do a little bit of our spiel because now you open the floodgates there, Keo. Exclamation point PC in my chat, exclamation point PC in Six's chat. You can get a link to joinpokercoaching.com. It's Jonathan Little's site. And as we mentioned, you get these quizzes. There's almost 900 of them now. Quizzes created by me, created by Six's, and by all these other awesome coaches. You can sign up for free. If you're not signing up for free, you're missing out. You're getting charts and homeworks and quizzes for absolutely nothing from people that are crushing the game at every level. So make sure you do that. Also, I record all of these and I put them on the YouTube channel. So if you're enjoying this one, if you want to go back and watch it again, if you want to watch any one we've ever done, either by ourselves, just me and Sixes, or with all the guests that we've had so far, then you can go to the YouTube channel, check those out. If you have any questions, put them on the YouTube channel. I'll make sure any of the guests, Sixes, or myself, someone answers them for you. So make sure you do that. We do this every Saturday, noon Eastern. And we have an amazing guest today. We have an amazing guest lined up for next week. We have an amazing guest lined up for the week after. We got them lined up. And we got some really big surprises coming, guys. And we have some really big surprises that are in the works that haven't fleshed out yet, but I'm keeping hopeful. So good things coming. Make sure you tune in. All right, next quiz. Is it my turn? Me or
yeah, I picked that one.
Me or StonedLife, right?
Yep.
No Alex, because we wanted to get through more than 2 quizzes today. For Roz, we did. We skip Alex like most of the empty ones. I'm gonna have to go to page 2.
Yeah, we have a ton of.
Oh shit. We can do like 8-18.
8-18. 11. Ah, there it is.
Walked him into it. I don't know if you guys can see 8-18 here. We'll zoom in.
18.
It's you.
Look at this fine gentleman right here. Who's this guy?
Let's go. All right.
We could do. Damn, we've done a bunch of these goddamn quizzes.
Yeah, we've been doing these. Like, we're gonna run out one day. No, it's 800. We're never gonna run out.
Never gonna run out, but I have to go a few pages deep, so I'm just warning you. I'm looking for like a Matt Affleck. Here we go. 744.
What number? 744.
Oh, he's even got the worst hand for me.
Oh, I've already done it. I'm sorry, man.
Are you serious?
I'm sorry. I've really already done. Yeah, like 1 week you weren't here or something like that. And I ran it by myself.
740.
7. I'm going the wrong way. Let me see. Jeez, we're on page 6. I have not.
All right, 740 with king queen.
Let's do it. In the main event.
Set it up here. You with this, Stone Life?
Hijack.
Yo, I'm here.
All right, cool. Let me pause this thing because it started playing without me. Ready to go.
Alright, in this hand we have King Queen offsuit in the hijack. We raise to 1200, always raising King Queen here in middle position. And the cutoff, flat calls, he's a big fish. And we go heads up to the flop. Flop comes Queen, Queen, 8. Should we check? Bet 1300, bet 2000, or bet 3000?
All right.
Whoa, that was loud. My fault. What are we doing? We flop trips.
We flop trip boys versus
That's a good hand.
really big fish. He says, what do we like doing here? We checking, we c-betting. What do you guys like? Online, this is always a call.
275 big blinds.
Super deep in the main
Yeah,
versus a really big fish. Dream.
Dream. 1300, 1300, 1300, 1300, 1300, 1300, streaming through my chat.
Ooh, I'm seeing a 2K check raise. I'm hoping D-Trip says, huh? Ooh, now you said it says check. Check call, Holy Rastus. What's up, buddy?
Wayne's probably betting
Hey, Nut.
1300. Keo's checking. There's a check. Dr. Mason checking. I see a few checks in there. Half pot from Kazar. Oops.
Yeah, I'm
scratch
seeing
that,
some
1/3 pot.
2Ks. This is interesting because I'm seeing all different, everything but 3K. So as you can see here is already kind of interesting.
Bad fish will call. Problem is not spending 2K. I have
Ship it
mixed
all in,
emotions about
60x
what's good here.
Fox.
And I think I actually mix up what I do in
I don't.
game here a little bit.
No, I know what I'm doing.
Against a good player, you would always just bet small, right? But this is a big fish. We could exploitatively go a little bigger here with the 2K.
Stone Life getting on that leveling kick.
I think 3K is too big no matter what. But against the big fish, if he's calling 1300, he's probably calling 2K. And we can just with our good value here, we could exploitatively just size up on him.
I mean, my only thought is that when I bet small here, because I would bet 1300 here with most of my range, I do it because I get so many folds. And I don't really want to get folds here. So like I was saying, I think 1300 is totally cool, and I could all see a logic. I think checking is okay too, because I only think we're going to get 2 streets. You know what I mean? And the question is do we get 2 streets on? Or I don't actually. No, we're not only. How do we get 2 streets? I guess is what I'm saying. Do we get 2 streets on turn and river, or do we get 2 streets on flop and turn? I think we're less likely.
I mean, with an SPR this deep, being this deep, I'm just always betting here. Certainly a lot of hands.
We got to build a pot.
I mean, we can't potentially stack a queen if we don't bet here. And then we want to still be able to get calls from under pair. He does float some gut shots. I don't think he's going to fold Jack 10s. I don't think he's ever folding a pair. I do think it's very interesting to go bigger and use a more dynamic sizing if you think he's at least calling 1 by going 2K. And initially, I was just going to bet 1300 here, but you make a very good point versus a player who's, if he's going to continue, he's probably continue inelastically no matter what size we choose.
Right, big fish.
And I know that
so
when we're super
that's
deep,
very
we're supposed to,
interesting.
like, our small bet's supposed to be closer to half pot, right? And our big bet's supposed to be 2/3 to pot, right?
Yeah, like I would normally always just bet 1300 here, but I'm very conflicted with going 2K, and it helps us build a pot here as well on Future Street to potentially, if he has a worse queen, queen jack, queen 10, queen 9, we can stack those a little easier or get more value, I should say.
All right, like against a good player, we play our range against their range, but against the big fish, we just play our hand versus their range. Our hand wants to bet bigger, put money.
Yeah, a little bit more dynamic sizing here and go a little bit bigger. If he's going to call 1 with the pair anyway, he's going to call regardless if it's 1300 or 2K.
That's what you
All right, you talked me into it. Sheesh. That's why we bring him in, boys. That's what I'm talking about. Like, opens up my eyes to
Just
something.
1/3 this week gives him a chance to raise. I just don't think people ever raise this as a bluff. Like, just because you bet 1300 and this guy's got ace king, he's never gonna raise you. It just never happens.
Right.
Big fish, they just like the call.
I'm betting 2K against the fish. Against a competent, I'm probably betting 1300 here. Yeah, exactly, Boston. I think that's a very good point.
Okay.
All right, even if I'm wrong, I really do like the concept behind just using a more dynamic sizing, and all of his one pair, other pairs are just going to call no matter what size we pick.
Yep.
So we may as well get more value this deep. He's 100 bigs deep, so let's do it.
I think you talked me into it. Let's do it.
I knew it,
Key part in the
but
this is
I would always go
Eight's
there.
not a bad score.
He made a very good point.
It's not a bad score at all.
And I think I like betting small 1,300 because it's hard for him to have much here, and I want to bet to build the pot, but I also want to let him catch up. So I don't like, betting 1,300 or betting 2,000 is also fine, but I don't like the betting 3,000 option, and I don't like checking. So we bet 1,300, about a third pot. He calls. Turn of the ace of clubs. Should we check? Bet 2,000, bet 3,500, or bet 5,000?
All right, guys.
All right.
It's like a dream card.
Yeah, it is.
What are we doing here,
An
Chad?
8 score isn't bad either. Like, an 8 is definitely not wrong.
No, he says it makes a lot of sense. He could see that size being viable, and I think in the context of the player archetype that we're against, 2K might have been optimal, personally. But overall, as a general strategy, 1,300 is probably just going to be the best overall. So, yeah.
3,500's smashing through my chat. Dr. Mason's got 5K.
So D-Chip's going
I think the
2K.
problem with 5K, Mason, is that they always start to push off the ace sometimes, right? Like, man. Certainly push off the weak ace, the weaker ace, right? Ace king.
I don't know if anybody's ever
like,
pulled an ace.
If you have ace 9, are you calling?
I think people this stack that would be inclined. I'm not making a case. I don't think I'm going 5K, but I think some players would just be inclined to call at least one more in position and see what we do on rivers with an ace.
Well, I can tell you
If
right
they
now, if you
float
bet
it.
5K here, I would be gone with like ace 9.
Firing
suited or
that
something.
shit. Firing it in the
Ace
mug.
nine of
But this is
hearts,
the big
gone.
fish. Yeah.
Man, I'm the only one that likes the 5K. Damn.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm sizing up
You
here.
play
on
with the
turn for
global player field. They're calling 5K with Jack 10.
Sure.
Well,
Against
no,
this player here, man. If he turned the ace, he's not folding. There's just no way he's folding.
There's just no way he's folding. That's how I feel. He's just not going to float it with some of his ace X to ever fold it. When he gets there, 100 bigs deep.
Now, if he's calling the
yeah. Go
if
ahead.
he's calling the flop with like 9-10, 10 jack, 10 jack just turned the double gutter now.
Yeah, we still get to stack or play big
Yeah.
pots versus queen 10, queen jack, and things like that. He's gonna fold like 9s and 10s and an 8x no matter what, whatever size we choose. We can't really induce that much more. So maybe we should go for the gusto versus a queen or his ace x.
And what are the majority of his floats that aren't pocket pairs? Ace X.
I mean, I was betting like 3,900 in game. I can tell you, I got my calculator.
I think that
Little
sounds about what I would do.
Casio.
3.5. I would be there too, but
So
I could see
I'd
5K.
be 39 or 3,500 here for sure. If we do that, there's another.
7K.
Yeah, we're just not gonna be able to get it in, even if we go 5K, right?
Nope.
So then, yeah, I'm going 3,500 myself.
All right, let's see what my chat is saying. Peanuts going 3.5K. Travesty is 5K versus the fish. He never folds an ace.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true, man. I swear he does. I agree, dude. This is the thing on WSOP, play tighter, even fish. I feel like betting big here shows we definitely have a queen, won't it? I mean, if this is the fish, we're playing our hand.
He's not thinking about that.
He's playing his hands. If he has equity, if he has an ace or a worse queen, he's never, ever folding, right?
He has 10 jack. He's trying to smash a 9 out on you.
Yeah.
5K is starting to come in now.
Ooh, yeah.
We got some people
Dunner,
torn
okay.
between 25 and 5K. You guys are swaying. I'm watching the crowd, sway one way to the other.
Damn it, Stone Life! Stop changing everybody's mind. Like,
I just think this is the card he sides up on because this just smashes like his floating range and everything.
yeah, shit. I would go 30. I'm gonna go 35, even though I agree with you because I don't know why. I'm just trying to make a case to.
I burnt you on the flop, so
Yeah, that's what it is. You hurt me. You've already hurt me. So no, I'm kidding. All right, let's do it. I think
you probably says 3,500.
I know. I feel like he's gonna say that, but 5K feels really good once again.
Yeah.
You ready, Joe?
Let me get to the chat. You didn't build it says feed fear with the ace, bet 2K, except I think we get more value from the ace, right? Because that's really what we're targeting. There's an ace calling regardless. Ace might scare him 2K, except if he's scared, he's just going away anyways. Does it make you difference to bet 3.5 and 5K? Yes.
You
Very
know
much,
what?
right?
What would we bet if we had like 10 jack
We
or
want to get
something
max
here?
value, right? Would
What
I
would
bet
we
if I had
bet?
10 jack here?
Yeah. Would you just keep betting small so we can call with pocket nines? Or
No,
would
I
you...
bet the 3,500. Because I want to bet big, but I don't need to go big too big because
It continues no matter what
it's
at
no
that
matter
point.
what, right? So I'm just trying to
Yeah.
get all those jump to full.
Right.
Yeah, 3,500. Let's do it.
5K. Okay.
Oh shit!
I'm
Oh,
going
well,
down. We're going down to Stone Life. I'm going
This is
down.
where we find out
Let's
who's
do
paying who today. Let's do it.
it. Let's do it.
Got him.
Come on, baby.
Got it.
For us here on the turn, I don't think this player folds any ace highs on the flop, so I think he has a lot of aces in his range, and he'll never fold them. And he's probably always folding smaller pairs regardless of what size. So I think we should bet large. I like betting 5,000, about 80% pot. I like it better than all the other sizes. We should just be betting large and just never checking here because we just don't want to give them a chance to check back an ace because these weaker players are just not aggressive enough and they're too passive. And their mistakes are they call too much, not that they bet too much.
Dr. Mason out there cheating.
5,000. He calls, and the river is the king of diamonds. Should we check? Bet 5,000, bet 10,000, or bet 15,000?
Bingo, bango. This is like a toe hand history. Let's go.
What did you get for the 3.5?
Shit on.
I'd went with 5. Let's go, Stone Life.
I love it. I love it. Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense, especially when we're super deep. 3,500 better when we're like 30, 40, 50 bigs deep. Sure.
Right.
Makes some sense.
Let's go.
And against a different player. I mean, this is big fish.
Yeah, but that too. That 100%.
Dude, where's the 22K option out? Where's the 20?
Oh, shit.
Where's the 22.5 at? Where's the 24K at?
Yeah, where's the overbet
Yeah, I
here?
like that better.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with us. We got Matt on speed.
Just
dial.
with a big ass bet,
He
dude.
might be
I
out
mean,
there. He joins us sometimes.
versus a fish, Matt. Where you at? We're never overbetting here, Matt.
Dr. Mason says, can I still get it all in on the river if I bet less than 5K on turn right? I think stack sizes are so
Where's
awkward,
24?
right? Like, we have 157K, so no matter what we bet,
We
it's gonna be
can't
really hard
ever
to
get it
all
in unless this guy raises.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard to get it all in. You going overbet all in on the river? Not all in, right? Because then we're betting 157K into 16.5. But that 24K, pretty sick. 20K?
Well, we're going 3x pot on the river. No way. But yeah, 24 would just be.
Love it.
Damn it. Well, I mean, what's the biggest bet we got out there, boys? All right, that's what I'm doing. I don't know.
We're all
What
trying to
else.
give it away, right? Like, we're all betting.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, we're all. Somebody says I'm there for one because versus a bad player here. I think like he can just think he's chopping. Sometime he can still have a worse queen X when he called the big bet. We've condensed his range, and he might just have ace jack and feel like we're trying to push him off of a chop. Right, he might be that stubborn guy that feels like he doesn't want to fold a chop. He can have a worse queen. Yeah, just
So
like
have
I'm not
ace
worried
king.
about having a boat. Like I'm not worried about him having ace queen. So yeah, we just definitely use a massive size in here. Versus
Yeah,
the
I
fit.
think you just go as big as it'll let us.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm kind of sad there's no overbet because I think a fish would be inclined to call some very big bets, thinking they don't want to be pushed off of a chop, and he can certainly still have a worse queen X when he called the big turn, the flop and turn. So I think you could still have like queen jack, queen 10, queen 9.
You don't think he raises those hands at some point in this hand?
Maybe not. He's in position, and maybe he just wants to go for a raise on the river, and maybe he realizes that there are maybe a handful of better queens. This is the main event. Maybe he doesn't want to just pile it on the flop with queen 10 and make us fold our bluffs or get stacked by better. Like, I don't think, they're
They
always
can
just
still have 10 jack that just got there.
Sure.
Yeah.
But he's not going to bet it like huge himself, but he'll call whatever we bet.
Right. All right. Well, 15K it is. Everybody's wants the big ass bet here for sure. I don't see any small bets. You see anybody going smaller than 15K?
I I see a 15K in the chat, two 15Ks in the chat, and then a bunch of people listening to us talk about why 15K is awesome.
Yeah, exactly. All right, 15K it is.
Let's do it.
Do it.
Let's do it.
Same thing as before. Weaker players, their mistake is they call too much, not that they bet too much. So we don't want to check. All of his aces now are chopping with another ace, so he shouldn't be value betting that much, and we can't trust him to bluff a missed flush draw. And I just think they call too much here with the aces. So yeah, I like betting huge, 15,000. I think that's clearly the best. Betting 10,000, I give a score of 7, and then I would never bet the 5,000 or check here. So we bet 15. Unfortunately, he folds. He could have just had a random 10-9 of clubs or something like that. Who knows? But yeah, we win a nice pot.
Awesome.
Damn, we can't see any hands. Ooh, that was loud.
He didn't show
All
it.
right. Yeah.
Man, we would have made 700 more chips than Matt here. We sized up the flop, got the money in early.
All right.
All right. StonedLife, you want to pick one? I mean, maybe a little difficult because we've done so many. But yeah, if you want to give it a shot, maybe if you could see our screens, what's been picked.
Well, he's on my
Should I go
line,
down
so
to,
he
the,
can
to
see
the
it
high
up there.
numbers? Like
Oh, he's on
700,
yours.
800?
Oh, if he's on yours, you can see all what's done. Yeah, you can just probably anything that's not clicked for a tournament. You know, the world is your oyster, bro. Pick whatever you want.
See, I'm gonna find something like
Okay.
34, something in my wheelhouse here. 30, 40 big blinds,
A lot of these
200
beats
big blinds.
yeah, you're global. You need a 6 blind quiz.
Yeah, you need a 7 big quiz.
Slash says kind of anticlimactic. What? We had a full house and we won. What more do you want from life, Slap Nuts?
Oh,
You
this
live
one,
out there to check the nuts, but
761.
when you play poker, you always bet the nuts. That's solid words to live by.
Oh, wait, no, that one's done. Dang.
Yeah, 761's done.
761?
Yeah, I just saw it.
Yeah, you're going to just go down to like the high sixes.
Man, you guys have done so many of these.
You've been doing it for a
Yeah, I've
long
been
time.
doing a ton
If
of
you
them.
also,
Yeah.
if you go to the very top left, it says show. You can change that to all instead of 25 or 50, and then you can just see all the quizzes and just scroll down. Not have to change.
How about this
pages.
one? 595.
Ooh, we went way down there. Let's check it out.
595 it is. What do we got?
Uh-oh, I don't have 595. Oh, yes, I do.
60
It's out of
big
order.
button.
Yeah, it is out of order. That's weird.
Jonathan, little ace deuce suited.
Yeah.
I am ready when you are.
All right, ace deuce suited from J Little. Let's do it.
Here we have the ace two of clubs in the hijack seat in a $1,000 buy-in tournament playing 200, 400. Everyone folds to us. Should we fold, call, raise to 1,000, or raise to 1,200?
All right, guys, here we are. Ace 2 suited, folds us. 63 bigs deep. What y'all doing? Sheeta Show coming with 1K, Jellyfish with 1K, Wayne Brain 1K, Kazar 1K, 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 1K from Knockdown, Bad Guy going 1K, Lucky Label going 1K, Mando Boost going 1K. I guess there were Clay Chips. Happy runs good. Everyone's going 1K.
Yeah, I got
All those
Zerg.
heroes.
Now you said it. Optimus, Travesty. Everybody's going 1K, but BQ's going a full 3X.
Something says
1K,
1,200 is
1K.
going 2.75, 3K most of the time right.
Got a good
Since we have
skin
a
on the
bunch of
button.
answers out there, I'll kind of answer that. Generally, when we're 60 bigs deep, excuse me, this Nick just kicked me in the throat. When we're 60 bigs deep, we're going closer to 2.5 as an open. And then I know Jonathan hates min raising, so he's going to like 2.1, 2.2 as he gets below 60 bigs because it
Right.
has those smaller bets have equal effect as we get shorter, right? We don't have to risk as much, and they still do the trick. But when we're super deep, we go a little bigger because your little min raises and stuff don't work, right? And we want to build pots most of the time. I'm gonna make it hurt.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Let me see. I hear an echo, Cho. Is that on your end?
Sing him.
I was hearing an echo. I was hearing an echo from me. My bad.
You still hear an echo? Shouldn't hear an echo from me now.
No, we're good now. Yeah.
I turn my volume.
Yeah, I mean, I would personally go a little bit smaller than this, even all the cases being made. But this is live, and people hate folding even more to a min raise. Like you might go multi-way, but I think just going 1K here is fine.
Yeah.
Somebody says be a knit and call. Keck W.
What?
Open fold.
Keck W, dude.
Hmm.
Yeah, what do you
Joe
like
says
here,
been using
Stone?
2.5 above 60, 2.2 below until you get to 40, and then min raise. That works.
Yeah,
And
this is
that's
Yeah, I don't
pretty
see any
much
reason to go more than 1,000 here.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this is pretty standard spot. We
Yep.
just 2.5x this deep. So yeah, let's just snap it in there. It's a pretty easy spot. You ready, Toe?
Yep, I'm done.
This
I'm already did
is
it.
a pretty standard spot to make it about 1,000. You could make it a little bit larger to 1,200, but I think in general, as long as people fold a little bit too often, 2.5 big blind raises are pretty nice. Because when you raise and people defend from the big blind too wide, you just crush them. If they fold too often, you crush them. Really, it doesn't matter a ton, but as you raise smaller, you typically get to play, slightly wider range because you're risking a little bit less. So I like raising to about 1,000 here. You could raise even smaller and get to play a few more hands, but then the big blind's getting great odds to call, and most people don't screw up too bad if they are decent players because they should just call everything. All right, I say everything, almost everything. Button calls a good kid, and big blind calls. Flop comes 7-4-3, giving us a gut shot and an overcard. Should we check? Bet 1,700, bet 3,400, or bet 5,100?
Sorry, I was answering a question in the chat. Let me get off mute here.
Oh, you're good.
All right, we're good. Yeah, so Keo was asking a bunch of questions. Smaller, we bet smaller since we have less opponents, or wider, or smaller because we have a wider range in this late. And I say it's because of stack sizes. The deeper we are, we go a little bigger because we want to make it hurt. We want to get value. And the more shallow we go, we don't need to do as big because the smaller bets have the same effect. Joe says, quitting smoking today. All the good do be appreciated. Hey, man, I got Nick right here. I am 1 week without cigarettes. Mrs. Toe is 1 week and 1 day without cigarettes, too, and she's only yelled at me once. It's a good life. Watch this. Those things are fucking delicious, though.
Ooh, I'm seeing a couple different 1,700 checks. Somebody said I'd bet 900.
Nice
I don't know about that.
I got 1,700s in the chat. Check says jellyfish. Jones, he going 1,700.
Ooh, check raise. Optimus says check raise. Check if the player is capable of check raise on that board. If not, 20 to 20. I'm seeing all kind of crazy ass options here. I mean, not crazy ass options, but I'm just seeing everything under the sun.
Check 1,700. 8% of a wheel check. Check in a 1K tournament. All the opponents are assumed to be good, and we will see any bet as a simple C bet. Lucky Dable, the only thing I would disagree with you there is that a 1K live tournament is probably the equivalent of a $10 online tournament. So I wouldn't bet. I would say that the skill level is about that. So we'll hand it to a check all 1,700. I see a lot of 1,700s.
Damn, somebody says 3,400. Stone Life, what are you doing here, buddy?
Man, I'm so torn. This is a flop that just smashes the big blind, so he should check raise this a lot. But we have no info on him on what he thinks about this guy. But it's not going to really interact with the button guy a whole lot. He's going to have pocket 5s and 6s and 8s and maybe 9s, probably 3-betting 9s versus the hijack. But he never really, when he just flats on the button there, he never has many overpairs. He might have 8s or 9s, but really all he has is 10 jack, jack queen, king jack, king queen. So I kind of want to bet just because he's just going to fold almost every single time, and then we'll just be playing in position against the big blind. And even if the big blind does check raise us here, I mean, we can call check raises. We're 60 big blinds deep, and we still got a good hand.
I am never calling. I mean, I am not inclined to be calling check raises when big blind has the nut advantage. The player behind has pairs he can set mine with. I feel like this is just a check. I don't think we get to just bet every time here. We would have a pretty reasonable check call by checking. If the button bets, which you can stab with a reasonable amount, we have a pretty easy call with our back doors. And the times that the button bets and then the big blind check raises, we just get away inexpensively. By betting, we don't get a whole lot of turn cards we can barrel. I guess we can just turn some of the overcards and clubs into double barrels and obviously get there. But I would be inclined to just be checking this, to be honest. Like, I don't see, like, going 3,400, that's just too much.
Suicide?
Yeah, it's just, yeah, I mean.
34 is way too much.
Yeah, and then 17, I guess if I was going to make a C bet, it would be 17, but, you know, they still continue. Big blind has a lot of 7x, 4x. And then we just are in a tough spot. The button never folds his pairs. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm never betting multi-way. Like you guys said, this smashes the big blind defend range. They have all sorts of straights, two pairs, pair and straight combos, sets, all that stuff. We shouldn't hit this too much. And if I was going to bet, I would go even smaller than 17. I'd go like 14,
12,
40, just to get
like
crap to
14,
fold and like
14.
be done with it. But I think this is a check all the time. And then the cool thing about having the gut shot is that we can call any bet like half pot and under.
Yeah, I would always just check call with my gut shot, my backdoor flush draw, and over. And then the times that the button gets check raised, we just get away, right?
Yep.
You know.
I think check.
All right, check it is for me. Yeah. Let's do it.
So when you're playing multi-way, you often want to bet with your best made hands and your draws. So this is
Thanks for the tip on the
very
book
clearly
and the
a
Chantrix,
draw.
guys.
It's not a
I'll
great
definitely
draw,
check that
but
out. I
it
already
is
put the
a
book
draw. We have
in my
a
one
gut
list.
shot,
Thanks, guys.
overcard, and backdoor flush draw. So that is certainly acceptable. So I think we need to be betting here. If we were four-handed, I think I would actually still probably bet, and that's because the board is relatively dry. If the board instead contained 2 to a suit, 2 to a flush, or if maybe it was 6-4-3, maybe then we start checking sometimes. Because then if, say on 6-4-3, if a 5 comes, we're not loving it anymore. Obviously, if a 5 comes now, we're also not loving it, but it's still fine enough. I think in general, we probably should just bet here. And I think we actually want to be betting with most of our range, because if you think about our bluffs, pretty much all of our bluffs, like Jack 10, have overcards. So they at least have some equity. And when all of your quote-unquote bluffs, your junk has some equity, it's usually okay to put out a bet. Especially if the board is somewhat dry and you actually do have fold equity. And I think we do. So I like a 1,700 bet. Button calls. Turn is the 9 of clubs. Should we check, bet 2,600, bet 5,200, or bet 9,000?
So Lion's like, man, they talked me into checking. We get an 8, and 8's a pretty good score. I'm surprised at some of the things he said, to be honest with you.
Yeah, me too.
Even like, 4 ways, he's still betting, and he said that like this is a dry board. I don't think this is the driest board.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, just enough pairs when we go 4-way, they're going to be in there trying to set mine that I don't feel like we're going to have. I know a lot of people like to call with high cards. We don't block the king, queens, the jack 10s, and the 9-10s and things like that would call. But it feels like there's going to be enough pairs and things like that are always going to continue. But he makes some good points about wanting to bet our draws. Some of our draws that are going to be tough to check call down or show down with, because ace high is not really going to show down well out of position, especially a button bet. So yeah, he makes some good points. But my chat wants to continue betting here. 5,200's streaming in the chat.
I got a couple of 52s, a few 52s, and a couple of 26s. We got 55 viewers and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 answers. Where are you guys out there? Wake up! What y'all doing? What are you doing, StonedLife?
Man, I'm torn between checking or betting 5,200. I guess we got to keep betting. But if I'm betting, I'm sizing up. Like we're just repping over pairs.
So do you think you need to go 9K or 5,200? Kind of accomplishes the same thing if you're trying to hold out as
5,200. Because his range is capped here, right? He never has. I mean, at best he has pocket 7s, pocket 4s.
Yeah, I mean he has sets. I guess he can have 5, 6. Suited on the button as well. Some people do flat their suited connectors.
Yeah, he could.
As well. So I would say he has. We would open pocket 3s, 4s, and 7s ourselves and have all the overpairs. So I think our range is pretty strong as well here, and we have pocket nines as well. So yeah, I think I would bet turn.
I think whenever we pick up equity, we have to bet, right? We have to continue.
It's just
Yeah.
like super annoying if he just jams on you now.
And you don't get to realize it. It's like it's piss. Yeah. Are we folding if we go 5,200 here? And do you need jams? I guess
In game,
so.
I would go 42. That's 60% after betting the flop. If I did not bet the flop and now I was going to have to bet the turn, I would go 40%, you know, because
Right.
I don't have to go as big.
Right.
I mean, if it was still re-entry, I'm stacking off. Fuck it.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. No, that's true. If I bet turn and get jammed on in a re-entry, we just like, all right.
We got a bunch more entries in here. 26,
Turn.
52, 52, 26, 26, 52, 26. Check, check, check.
Ooh.
So it looks like more 20. Oh, God, it's pretty tied between 26 and 52. Check raising napkins. 52 sets up a river shove. Pretty nice.
Coco
52,
says
17.
greater.
Does set
What's
up
up,
a river
buddy?
shove really nice.
Damn, man. I see a check. Coco Flow's checking. Anthony's going 2.6K. BQ's going 2.6K. Senior. So yeah, I'm starting to see a few more as well. And then I see like check calls. So I've seen every single option. I've even seen a 9K.
So
What's up,
here's
Raider?
the question:
Good
if
morning.
we bet here, are we jamming rivers? Because we're going to set it up. Jamming rivers to get the missed straight draws and sixes and fives to fold.
Probably jamming any ace, king, queen kind of river. If it comes a two of hearts, or I think I just give up.
Oh man, this is rough. Nah,
Yeah,
I'm seeing all the answers and I'm seeing all kind of shit. Maybe going 5.2. I think I'm going 5.2. For some reason, this is really comes to mind. This is probably what I would do in game.
Yeah, I would go
So,
4.2 in game, but 5.2 seems closer. I'm not going 2,600. I know that.
yeah, I don't think that really.
Yeah, 5.2. We want to
Everybody
set up the
agrees
river
jam on
jam.
river. I kind of agree too. All right, cool. Let's do 5,200. See what happens.
Let's see. Seeing some check calls, more check calls coming in. Yeah. All right, 5,200 is for me. Let's go.
So, again, we have a few options.
Like
We can
small
either check or bet here. If we check, we're certainly not planning to fold. We're planning to check call or maybe even check shove. Given if we check call and it goes check check on the river, we probably lose. So I think check shoving here is actually viable. I also think betting small is viable. Because if we bet small, we can still get called by a lot of junky hands that we can barrel on the river. And that's pretty nice. If we do bet 2,600 and our opponent raises, often it won't be an all-in raise. You don't want to be betting an amount that forces the opponent to shove. So, for example, if we bet 9,000 and the opponent goes all in, well, now it's just miserable, right? Same thing with 7,000. If we bet 7,000 and the opponent goes all in, it's pretty bad. So, I think in this scenario, we either need to bet 2,600 or check. And I don't really mind either play one way or the other, but I think I typically lead just towards betting. Anytime the turn is an overcard, which is obviously bad for the opponent and good for me, because like I told you, I'm betting everything on the flop. And we have one of our very clear draws, especially one that doesn't have a ton of showdown value. I think betting's fine. If we had a hand like ace, king of clubs, ace, queen of clubs, ace, jack of clubs, we'd probably be checking those, because those hands actually do beat a lot of our opponent's range, and we don't need to apply aggression with those. So we bet, our opponent calls. River is the queen of clubs. We have the nuts. It's always good to have the nuts. Should we check, bet 4,200, bet 8,200, or go all in?
This is where I start running my booyah animation in my stream.
This is hurting me, man. These last two is hurting me.
I mean, again, 7 and 8 are pretty okay scores. They're not terrible scores, but
I mean, if we go 52, we can jam river.
yes, like that's what I would do right here.
Yeah, if I have 52 in this pot, we can jam the river and it's clean.
Now jamming for 19-7 into a 12-2 pot is weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would prefer to go 52, man. I understand the logic between going small, but he was saying he wants to keep in hands that have equity. We only have ace high. I don't know. Makes
He
no
must
sense.
not have had a rebuy.
I don't know. I don't know why we would want to keep his range really wide when we have ace high and just a draw when we're out of position. I would just be betting, representing overpair, and then when we actually get there, having a pot size river jam. But I get what he's saying. I have to ask Jonathan about this one.
We're gonna have to call Uncle Jonathan.
Yeah, like John, what do you mean, man? Is
Yeah,
this-
doing, Jonathan?
we kind of put him in a spot where he's only gonna like jam or fold to the bigger bet. It's kind of hard for him to call with like pocket fives, I guess. But I don't know. I think I like betting bigger, jamming the river.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, I don't know. So do
And if
I.
this is like the queen of spades, we can still just jam the river. But now it's kind of like really weird.
I mean, we put out 8K now, go all in. What are you guys doing? So 8,200, 8,200, 8,200, 4,200 value. I'm seeing 4,200, 8,200, and 2 all ins. Tom Price is shoving. I feel you. All in like my bluffs.
Got him.
Trap.
Jam.
is-
4,200. Bink. Never checked the bets. 4,200, 4,200, 8,200, 8,200, 8,200. So mixed in 42 and 82. I mean, I am definitely going 82.
I'm greedy as hell.
Of these
I want to
options.
jam so
I would have gone
bad.
pocket on the turn so I could jam here, like you guys said. But now that jamming is just too weird, and I don't know what we get called by other than what 7-9, queen 9, queen 7, and some of those aren't even in here. And then 5-6, like it's the all in just doesn't get called.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to get called by whatever single pair hand. I don't think Jay Little is all in.
I think
guys.
7-4
can't.
check raises some point, flop or turn. 7-4
Travis, I
clubs,
feel you.
jellyfish, right? Because they have 2 pair and the flush draw.
Yeah, I don't
You could
think
explain why we're predetermining
Eagle
a
Paw.
river jam on turn without a made hand. Because we played this so aggressively and they played this so passively, Kazar, that we don't think we have showdown value. And we set it up to where we have pot size jam. I think that's the only way to get like 5s and 6s, sticky 4x, shitty 7x to fold.
And I'm probably just gonna bet 4,200 the way that he played the hand now.
Controversy. Stone not going 42, Vice going 42, Slapnuts going 42.
I'm greedy, dude. I cannot.
I just don't see how this hand played out. With the range is gonna flat the button. I don't see how this hand plays out this way where he ever has better than like 8-7 or pocket 6s here. 8-7.
Yeah, I mean, pocket 8s probably wouldn't raise RC bet, and then when we double barrel, they probably wouldn't raise as well because they only get called by better and worse to folds. It's, you know, same thing with, I don't think he has pocket 9s, but 9s might raise turn. 8s would just call. You can make a case for 10 spots, but all those hands are not calling an all-in. 5-6 might just be raising on the flop, trying to stack over pair.
Or turn.
So I don't think that. I think the sets might be raising flop as well in position, just trying to stack our overpairs from a good kid. So yeah, I think he's pretty capped, and I would still be greedy as hell and go 8K because I can't help myself. I want to go 4, and I know we're going to get called more often with 4, but I'm really greedy here and want to go 8.
I'll make it all day, no question.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, hopefully he just makes a hero call with like pocket 8s or has 10s that he didn't 3-bet or something. So
Huffy says 4,200 leaves his bluff jam a possibility. 8,200 never does that. I think when he goes call, he just doesn't have very much bluff jams. Right? It's a really weird line to take. I don't think he's doing that. Yeah, I guess what, like the bluffs. What bluffs? 8-6, maybe. Flush too visible. True, but he called twice, so he's got to have a hand, right? Then
He's got
because it comes
something.
runner, and they don't have backdoor flush as much as traditional flush draw. Agreed, Mason. Borders all in.
remember this is live, so we need to merge our acting range as well.
Got a steering the dealer. Take your Red Bull.
Hollywood time. Look back at the board. Take your time. 4,200 is getting called a lot, man. Fuck. All right, 8,200 it is. Okay.
All right, me too.
All right, let's go. Damn it.
Oh, I heard a damn it.
Interesting spot where you're
Hey.
Oh, what
Damn,
did he do?
good.
Shove.
So in this spot, think about it, right? The opponent very likely just has a pretty clear marginal made hand or a busted draw. So if our opponent has a busted draw, doesn't matter how much we bet. But if our opponent has a marginal made hand, like 8-7, will they ever call an all-in for 1.5x pot? Probably not, right? So if we are trying to get called by a marginal made hand, I think we need to bet 8,200 or maybe 4,200 if your opponent's particularly weak. I definitely do not think you need to check. Checking would be terrible, because if you check, you're going to check behind with their 8-7 every time, and you're not going to win any money. So when you're trying to get called by marginal made hands, a small or a medium bet is usually ideal. And in this scenario, I think our opponent can count on us continuing to bluff here a lot, given it ran off an overcard and a backdoor flush. So if I did have potential bluffs here, I would definitely keep bluffing. Like say I had Jack 10, I would definitely bet the turn, I would definitely bet the river. So given there are very clear bluffs that we would play in the same way, I think we need to bet. And I think 8,200 is pretty nice. This time, though, I do go all in, and I think this is probably the only time you can shove here.
Greedy.
Just kind of look and tell your opponent likes their hand. Now, look, if I'm playing a $1,000 World Series event, and I can look and tell the opponent's like, oh yes, I got there on the river. Yes, we're all in. So make sure you adjust to take advantage of whatever you think your opponent is likely to do. And, I mean, I can pretty much guarantee you, in this scenario, if I got the vibe that the opponent loved this river, then I'm going to jam. But in a normal scenario, I think a smaller bet would be ideal. We do jam,
Ooh.
calls,
What the hell did he have?
and we win.
Don't Faraz us.
No showdowns today.
He Farazed us. Boo.
See, I like being greedy, man. That's a good. I like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like
he's
is that he
fun.
jammed the river and he could have easily just set it up by being a little bit bigger turn bet. But
Yeah, because I still think the range that costs 26 likely calls 52 if he has some of these pairs and whatnot. But maybe he did get this man to continue a hair wider than he should have. I think if he had a backdoor flush draw, he's just calling 52. A pair of backdoors.
agreed.
Yeah. Cool.
MOB says, I've been taking these quizzes and they're worth every penny. Wow. Yeah, man. The cool thing about them is they're super interactive and they're fun. And in a lot of ways, it feels like you're getting personal coaching from whoever the coach is. And it
True.
scales to the masses, which is interesting. The other cool thing is like when you take these quizzes, you can retake them if you have them or whatever and try and get a better score or whatever. But as you get scores, those points go toward unlocking other quizzes. So they kind of made it like a video game in that like you try and get these scores and get better, which makes you money, to unlock other content, which will give you a chance to take more quizzes, have more fun, and make more money. So they do a really good job. I love the way this site is structured, and I love that it's not just one of those sites that are out there like most of them that are just video repositories, because I belong to a lot of those types of sites over the years,
Yep.
and they're good and you get value, but then the study's all on your own, and it's kind of harder to soak in and conceptualize, especially if you're in the medium stages or early stages of your career. So I love this way of learning. I think it's great.
Yeah, don't forget to mention that, they do the staking opportunities. They were doing some live staking before, everything happened. And one of the things you have to be a member, and then they look at your participation in these quizzes and how often you're doing these quizzes and with some of the scores and whatnot. So it's another way to get, noticed if you're interested in some staking opportunities from pokercoaching.com by doing some of these quizzes as well. So just another thing we can touch on.
You can buy locked classes with the points too. Yeah, absolutely. You buy courses, right? It's cool. Show said, I thought you look like you like this hand on the river. Maybe ace queen. Queens ever play passive? No, definitely doesn't have any queens. Queen's always going to be betting at some point, especially if we're betting. Like they're going to raise us for value because they want to get value from all the draws, single pair hands, and pairs that are, from 7 to queen. So for sure. And I don't see why ace queen would float, flop, float, turn unless it was. Well, they can't even have ace, a backdoor flush draw with it. You know what I mean? So if it was ace queen, it would be like ace queen of diamonds, ace queen of hearts, since we have the ace of clubs. Yeah. Quick video games because they weren't making any money, but good sell-tell makes sense. Kazar, have you not seen what Twitch is doing for video game players? My parents, because I grew up when video games were invented, they said you couldn't make any money. Do you have any idea how much money Ninja's making? Get out of here. If I had to do it all over again, I'd be a video game streamer for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Those cats are making bank, but it's super saturated competitive market, and you better be talented.
Well, I'm also,
entertaining.
Handsome and witty as fuck.
All right. I think it's my turn.
Yeah, it is your turn.
Yep, 871. D-Trip, do you coach here? I do some coaching. I coached Team Toe last night. That was fun.
Also, if you have any coaching, if you want like coaching besides this, both Sixes and I offer coaching as well. Sixes can sell himself. I'm not sure how much availability he has, but I'll put in a command in here if you want to join Team Toe. We got that going on right now with about 25 guys on the team.
Oops, I clicked it. 871. 871. I'll pause it. I'll restart it. 871. We got Jack's this newest quiz.
Oh, it looks like I took it, but it didn't. That was my test. I didn't really take it. Cool. I was fixing things before the stream. All right, I'm ready when you are.
All right, let's do it.
Here we have Pocket Jacks in second position in a $5,000 buy-in tournament, 250 big blinds deep. Should we fold, call, raise to 300, or raise to 500?
I'm all muted.
Standard.
I mean, do we need to do anything about just say raise 300 and move on to the next part of the quiz?
Yeah, I think we just nobody's folding, nobody's limping. 500. Why are we even going 5x? 3x is the answer. We all know it. We're all beast enough to know this. So let's move on. If he says 500 here, I'm just
Stream's
I'm
over.
like,
See you
it's
next
over.
week.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Stone Life.
Right. All right,
let's
let's
do it.
do it. Yeah.
This is definitely a spot just to make a standard raise. Even when you're very deep stack, you don't need to be making it like 5 big blinds pre-flop. I realize a lot of people just do that in cash games, and I think it's a mistake. You'll find that pretty much none of the biggest winners in the game are making it 5 big blinds or 8 big blinds pre-flop just because they're deep stacked. You're going to find that 3 big blinds is fine, maybe 3.5, maybe 4, but you really don't want to go overboard making giant raises. So I do raise to 300, we get a bunch of callers. You'll find that in general when you are deeper stacked, people splash around a little bit more, which is perfectly fine. Just make sure you play well post-flop. And now the flop comes
Sizzle.
Jack 8-5, giving me top set. Should we check,
Sizzle.
bet 500, bet 1,000, or bet 1,500?
Ooh.
Bink, 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 bink. What are you guys doing?
What a sun runner.
I know, right?
Yeah, this is why Jonathan Little's Jonathan Little. Just wins. Just hits it. Don't worry.
It's like the first hand of the tournament.
That's why Toe
Flops
is
top
Toe.
set.
He's just not as rich.
You're acting like you don't have toe equity. Stop it.
Oh, I'm talking about the Toe equity. It's just that Jonathan Little equity is more valuable.
Yeah, right. All right, what are we doing here, Chad? I'm seeing some checks. Someone got a straight draw, 1K. D-Trip with the sub. Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate the support.
Someone's asking me about what's the best U.S. facing sites. I went through all that detail in the chat, so check it out. Late Reg and ACR is like 2 days. Agree. Keel says, currently playing on Poker Bros, but they have terrible MTs. The one thing I'll say about playing on sites, and this is just my theory on it, I don't trust the apps at all. I trust a big bad site like ACR more than I trust the apps for sure. I think the likelihood of ACR running away with your money is much slimmer. However, they do have their own issues. So I stay away from the apps personally. 1K, 500, 1K. Someone's got something. 1K, 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 500, 1K, 1K, 500. So a bunch of 1Ks and a handful of 500s.
What do you like here, Stone Life?
At least 1K.
1K. So reason
Any reason to
being,
bet small.
so what's the reason being that? We block all the top pair combos. You think we're gonna get called by all the 8x, 6, 7, 7, 9, 9, 10,
10, queen.
pocket 10s, queen 10, queen 9.
King, queen will probably float. Yeah.
4-7 suited,
Even
good for 5-handed.
Backdoor
4,
hearts,
7.
spades, and diamonds.
Yeah, I don't think going
For
500.
500, you're going to get floated by all of that stuff.
Yeah, we are 250 big blinds deep, right? And then we get to the point where we start building a pot on later streets. If the board gets wetter, we start only getting paid by hands that almost beat us, right? Like straights and flush draws we might get there. It's 5-way. Yeah, I kind of like going 1K here.
We want to play a big pot. We got top set. You got to start betting big at some point.
But it sucks because we do block any one pair, but do you think like 9s and 10s and 6, 7s call inelastically when we're 250 big blinds deep and we get at least one bigger street from the under pairs by going 1K? Open-enders, back doors with gutters call for 1K, I guess. Yeah, travesty, I agree.
Absolutely. I'm going 60%, which is 930. So in this inning, I'm going 1K for sure because this is one of those boards where I ask myself, like, how coordinated is it? It's pretty coordinated. We get called by a lot. We listed all those hands. That was a lot of hands.
I mean, yeah, there's a couple turn cards if we go too small and everyone sees the turn that are just going to be cringe for us, right? Like
6, a 7, a 9, a 10, a
10.
queen,
Yeah.
4. There's a lot. It's half the deck.
Yeah, it gets really uncomfortable. It's like, oh shit, did I just, let someone hit a straight? So, I agree. 1K it is for me. And yeah, I see a few 500s. I seen some checks earlier. Check call, Tom Price says. I don't know, man. We're 250 big Z. We got to start trying to stack cats.
Never.
You're never gonna get check raise in. You block. The only hands that would bet this would be a jack and 5 ways. Everything else is just gonna check around.
You might get a bet from the button just because it's the button right in the back seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might click out the min bet or something.
Yeah, realistically, we can target. What's up, Jordan? Good to see you, buddy. He said we can target 9, 10, or anyone who called with 6, 7 suited. Pocket 8s, pocket 5s we want to stack as well, right? And
Pocket 9s,
then
pocket 10s probably flip for one. Good.
King, Queen of Hearts, Queen 9 of Queen 9, Queen 10 of Hearts. So yeah, 1K it is. Let's do it. Please be right.
So, I think in general you just want to go ahead and bet with your top set.
Well played, Stone Life.
From a GTO point of view, there is always merit in checking exactly top set, because when you have top set, it makes it way less likely your opponents have anything great, right? Because most likely they just have middle pair or worse, and middle pair or worse isn't really going to stick around all that often, or at least won't put in a lot of chips. That said, this is a spot where I think you still want to go ahead and bet because it is so multi-way. Notice we have no clue which house we have to fade, and our opponents could very easily be sitting around with a bunch of gut shots, or, they could even have top pair, or a random slow play pocket aces or something absurd, right? I don't think it's going to happen, but it could, right? You could also be against a set yourself. If we are against a set, then we're going to make a lot of money anyway. But it's nice to go ahead and put it in the first bet, because imagine big blind has, let's say, pocket 5s, and he checks the flop as he should. If I check, well, these 3 guys probably have nothing, so it's going to go check, 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 and then we're going to have a much more difficult time winning a big pot. So I think betting 1,000 is the right play, although I do think checking is acceptable, especially if you get the vibe that one of these players yet to act is going to bet frequently. If you are playing live poker, sometimes you can just look and tell, and if you can just look and tell they're going to be betting, well then checking becomes pretty great, right? This time I do check, so perhaps I had that.
Oof.
Oof.
300.
A little ass bet.
And the big blind makes it 2,150.
Oh shit!
I was expecting, but good.
We're doing the happy dance on my stream right now.
Call, raise to 4,500, raise to 6,500, or go all in.
This is interesting.
Holy shit, this is super interesting now.
My first thought was to raise this, and then I had a bunch of other thoughts. So let's see what they say. Keo's going 6,500, 6,500, 4,500, invites other callers. With I won't go into that yet. 65, 65, so, Global says rip it, says Jellyfish.
So there's a lot of debate even on the flop in my chat on the flop line, on our flop line. Some people are saying like what hands would not bet if let me see what he says. 9, 10, like what hands would not bet if we were to check? Like he was thinking those hands would still bet if we were to check. And a lot of people were advocating checking because a lot of
people check those back multi-way and try and
I think people are checking their draws multi-way and just trying to realize the equity. I don't see people stabbing 6, 7. I think big blind can have 6, 7, 7, 9. Colors behind can have 9. They're just going to check a lot of these gut shots and things like that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
everyone in my chat raising some level or another. I have some thoughts. The click back, I mean, no matter what size, but even more so the click back. This is bet, call, check, raise, and then you click back 4-bet. Like, tell me that isn't an overpair or a set. Like,
he's in a big blind 2-pair. You can have 8, 5, 5s, 8, jack 8.
1,000% of the time, if you click this back, you have the nuttiest of nutties ever. And I think 6,500 does the same thing. I don't think it's quite as obvious, but even still, you're 4-betting. Like, you just always have ace-jack, 2-pair, or a set. Always. Always. And even ace-jack probably flats this with this type of action. I would just call. This guy's always going to bet the turn, like 1,000%. All these little guys are just going to fold like 999% of the time. And we get more value than that. I think when we raise this, like, unless he specifically has a set, an underset. I don't think we're getting. I think he folds, right? Like, and we're gonna get value from those undersets, anyways.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, what do you think of your Stone Life?
And I want to raise just because if I call here, I mean, I'm just going to invite these guys. I mean, they're all saying they have a piece of something here. Probably, I mean, we smashed the flop, so they probably got just draws. If we call this guy, we're just inviting them to chain call behind us.
What's wrong with that?
There's going to be a million ugly turn cards, and we'll be sandwiched, and we won't have any glue.
I mean, there's not that bad. I think that's what we want. I think we want this pot personally. I want all these players to call. If they all call, man, there's gonna be like a SPR of like 2 on the turn, and he's the big blind bets again. We can just get it in. I think
I'm thinking the big blind saying he has a hand here, and we can just clean up this fucking equity these guys got and just get it in with
sets and whatnot. We just stack his 2 pair and sets because he's obviously repping a very strong hand. Why do I want to slow play?
This is where I hear sixes and Just GTO. Shout out to Just GTO, content creator, pokercoaching.com.
One of our friends
for winning a trophy last night. But he won a trophy last night. He won a rattlesnake last night. I hear you guys in my head saying, "No, Toe, don't go crazy
I know.
here. They just gonna fold." I hear you.
Yeah,
and I don't care about the draws coming. I mean, like a 10 is an okay card. So the only cards like a 9, maybe
a 4, a 6, a 7, 9, 10. That's 20. There's 24 cards that could be ugly. You can bring a straight in.
Porter says time I get it hand mucked. Yeah, that's funny. But the truth is this is a lot of stuff that we go through in our heads that we don't necessarily verbalize to you guys. This is some of the instinct stuff that we just do on second nature. But when we're doing this kind of stuff, it's good to go deep, right?
Yep. Yeah, we're just hanging out and going deep in these spots, right?
Yeah. So you guys get a good idea of what we're thinking about, and also, it's good to talk it out and maybe find a flaw. Don't worry about ugly turns. We'll be getting beautiful rivers, says John. I like it. John says he would fold aces to a 4-bet click back in a spot like this. I think I would too. I think I would too for sure.
Dude, yeah, you're going to be in bed. Like, what are you going to do for the rest of the hand? It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm calling. I'm just going with the call. I know what you guys are saying. I know. I got to go for it. I want somebody behind to make mistakes. If they have a draw.
I don't think a call is bad at all. I mean, there's no flush draw. So if there was a flush draw, I would definitely say you can't just call.
It's a decent point.
Yeah, D-Chip's like, but 3 other players. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm calling. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to willingly.
A call is gambling. Look at
I
these.
guess maybe with implied odds they can call. But then you got to assume, well, I guess with implied odds they're going to get chips a lot. So, sure.
All right, I'm very the long con.
The long con.
The long con.
I like it. I'm calling. Let's see if Stone Life schools us again.
Yep.
I definitely do not like slow playing anymore at this point. While it would be
No!
nice to just
No!
make our range look as weak as possible by calling the 2,000.
Snap folding.
If we do call, we're giving the player yet to act all decent odds to
Or
call
low
with all
65.
their open-ended straight draws or even gut shot straight draws or backdoor flush draws, and we don't want that. So I think we do need to re-raise. The next question becomes how much should we re-raise? And this is a tough one. I gave the options of 4,500 and 6,500. I think the right play is probably something like 5,200.
I'd probably go 6.
I think that's going to get called by the big blind with basically his whole range. Unless he
I like
has
5K better than 45.
And that's going to get more money in against his good hand.
I think
It's also going to give a little bit more protection against his draws. I think as
Counter.
we're making it bigger, like 6,500, now we're actually going to start to get some folds from the hands like a jack, which is very bad. And for that reason, I think a bet of about 5,000 would be pretty nice. So of the options I gave, I think 4,500 is nice. We don't want to jam unless we can just definitively tell the big blind has a set and he will not fold. But that's something that's a read I basically never have. So I like 4,500 or 5,000.
Could give back Peanut as well.
4,650. Big blind calls. And notice here, he only has to put in 2,500 to win a pot that's going to be about 12,000. So he should actually be calling pretty wide here. Maybe not with all the gut shots, but with open-ended straight draw, he certainly should. And if we made it a little bit more, we just extract a little bit more value. Turn is the 10 of hearts. and the big blind checks. Should we check, bet 4,500, bet 8,500, or bet 12,500?
You like to click back, man. I got problems with it. I do. Like I said, and then maybe this is a case where we're projecting. Like
Yeah.
are probably projecting our thoughts on our villains. But like I said, I am snap folding anything that isn't a set if you click that back. And like if I had a set of fives, I don't know that I'm folding because I don't fold sets very easy, but I am hating life. Hating life. And then we get this
This is a
turn and I'm like,
5K.
shit, I wish I would have folded my set of fives. Fuck. Like, man. And this is a 5K live tournament too, so like, man.
He
I don't
said
know.
scared all three people. I feel you. I don't know, man. Is Vladdy really that bad in his spot? I guess, man. I'm just. I feel gross. What size did you say Stone Life on the flop? Did you say 65 or 40?
Yeah, I didn't think he would go for the pure click back. I picked 6,500.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought as well. Like that was between like 65 if I was gonna raise, and then like a check. But all
He
right,
said in the
boys.
clip that he liked like 5,200 would have been the better size, but of the options he gave, 4,500.
Right. 8,500s we're seeing in the chat. 8,500 is just going to put 27 and he's going to have 12. So SPR is going to be like 0.5, 0.6. Live players are sticky as fuck, Winglow says.
Jonathan also like getting himself in these weird stack to pot ratios the last two
I
races, right?
know. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. All right.
We got
Well,
a few 8,500s. What are the rest of you guys doing out there? Mostly 8,500s. All 8,500s.
some equity he could raise given the board. So why not 9-7? That is just a pipe dream. If this guy has 9-7, I mean, I'm gonna
earned
give him.
him.
And he go, yeah, I'm gonna give him a standing ovation. Like, this is
Not me.
amazing. Yeah, he's a
I'm gonna throw
beast.
tomatoes at him. Like, what are you doing with 9-7 a multi-way pot?
Check-
It's
yeah,
call,
check.
raise click back, and you're still here with 9-7? You got to be crazy.
Yeah, just here's my stack, buddy. Let's take a picture together. Like, yeah.
Jeffrey says 12.5, basically putting them all in. 4,500 makes stock ratio right for a shove. I'm kind of conflicted for that reason, Joe, between 45 and 85 myself. Miss Ginger going 85, Wayne going 85, 85, 85, 85, 12.5, 85, 45. Now they're coming.
I'm leaning towards 45. I don't think we need to.
Me too.
I am kind of leaning toward 45 because of stack rate.
Well, yeah, if
Excuse
you think
me.
about the SPR, we put in another 9K. He
Everything
can
else.
still call with like his jack. I don't know. His continuing range is just maybe a hair wider when we go 45 if he doesn't necessarily have a set or a super strong hand. And then the SPR is still good enough for us to just jam river. So I think 45, putting an extra 9K, puts like 20K out there, and he's going to have like 16 in his pot, 15 in his pot, a stack, which is perfect.
And we're not really worried about the undersets, right? We're going to get those no matter what. But, like, the hands
Yeah.
like 9-10. Now I picked up a pair, maybe, I'm trying to think, like Queen 10 of hearts, Queen 10 of diamonds, Queen 10 of spades, maybe. Like, I'm trying to think of what comes along for this. But, like, those guys are going to be inclined to call now that they picked up a pair and draw. The only question is 4,500 giving me a great price to come along?
Yeah, that's good. We're dominating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what else? What are we worried about at this point that would check raise that has a draw?
I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about giving them a mathematically correct price to draw out of us.
I'm giving a mathematically correct price to stack off with, something other than a set. I want him to stack off like maybe some Jack 10 or Jack 9 or something like that. They might have check raised. But Jack 10's going broke no matter what.
He min clicked the flop. I can't see him betting 8,500 now.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, 4,500 I think is in stacks. A lot of assembly
Yeah.
leverage, appeals to this card. Yeah. Talk about that. Cool. Let's do it.
All
4,500.
right. That's in. Come on, baby.
We certainly want to keep betting. If we're
Like
against
Oh,
a pair,
piss.
we
Now he
want
goes
all the money. If
8,500.
we're against
Weird.
a set, we want to get all the money in. Obviously, we do lose to a few hands now. We do lose to Queen 9
Oh.
and 9-7. Notice 9-7 actually is.
I think I'm going to send him a message and ask him about the stock to pot ratio
We've
stuff.
given it straight as well. So it is conceivable that we're beat. However, at this point, it just doesn't matter because there are too many other hands that we beat that will still put in a lot of money. So we just want to keep betting. We want to bet an amount that will allow us to realistically jam the river while also giving the opponent bad odds if he does happen to have 10-9.
Some of the odds, like I was saying.
Or 7-6. So I think at this point a bet of about 8,500 is pretty nice. That's going to price out those draws and also just really price my opponent in if he has a set or two pair on the river. Now, again, of these options I gave, maybe something like 7,500 is slightly better because then the opponent may think he has a little bit of fold equity. Whenever you do have stacks like this, it's always a fine line between betting without price out draws, but also betting small enough to where if the opponent does have a draw, he thinks that perhaps he can just rip it in and have fold equity. If the opponent goes all in here, obviously we're thrilled to call. And we want him to have as many bluffs as possible. And I think when we bet 8,500, it's pretty hard for the opponent to think that he has a lot of fold equity with his bluffs. So I think I probably would prefer it a little bit smaller, but you don't want to bet so small like 4,500 because then you're actually just giving him
Why?
great
Because you're giving him the right odds.
draws. So you see, I have a bit of a problem here with the stack to pot ratio.
He's not making
He said he recognized it.
7,500 and
I agree.
A little bit better on average, just because it will give the opponent a little bit of.
I think 6 is 55. I would go.
8,500 and the opponent just folds. So I'm not sure what he had. Probably just had 7-6.
We would call for 45.
God.
If he had
So, like,
9, his shit was rough.
I have so many thoughts. Hang on.
I guess we're just supposed to fold.
The other thing is that-
notice here, this bet size does put him in that bad spot where he has to fold a hand that is normally quite good. So who knows what he had, but I'm glad we didn't lose to the 9-7.
This is a 9-7, fade to black. A couple thoughts. One, I think he would call it 4,500 too. Also, if we don't click back the flop and flat, he c-bets the turn always, and it's going to be bigger than the 2,200 chips or whatever that we got. And we get more value that way.
If we were just to call it 2,100, it would still be. I mean, we would have most likely went 3 to 4 ways, or maybe even 5-way. But
Yeah, and then he bets the turn, you call, and the guy behind
then
you
we
jams it
question.
in.
yeah, something. I think I don't agree with 8,500 on the turn at all, to be honest.
It's a weird stack to pot ratio.
I mean, between the options of 45 and 85,
Mhm.
I mean, I prefer 45 because I would probably go closer to like 5,500,
Yeah.
maybe 6K. I think would make sense as well because we can be half. But 85 feels massive, and we start to lose. I don't know why he's so concerned with the draws. Those hands are drawing thin, and we're in position, and I don't think he lead jams into us, even if he gets there a lot. And then we just have so much of the deck that's good for us. So I don't know why we would size up so much when we have him most likely in a very, very bad spot, you know, personally.
Weird.
Yeah.
We leave him a weird
But-
situation. Yeah.
Yeah. But he even mentioned, he's like, I know I set up a really odd SPR, and he acknowledged he should go a little bit smaller, but I wish he would have went, you know, like less than 7K even for me. So
Sure. Stone Life, is Jack 10 suited like your favorite lucky hand or something? What's going on there?
Oh, that's my favorite hand ever. I'll call all in, any size, any day. Let's go.
Jack 10 suited and Ace 5 suited are my two guilty pleasure hands.
Yes. But yeah, I think that does it, man. It was a good one, man. We had a lot of fun today. Stone Life, thank you, man. We really appreciate.
Thanks for having me here. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
He
you
was
crushed
right a
it,
couple
man.
times when we were wrong. See?
Yeah, you
we bring
crushed
good
it.
guests on this show. Look at that.
That shit. Yeah, you did very well, man. We really appreciate it. I'll throw a link so you guys can make sure to give him a follow on Twitter. Let you know when he goes live. He does stream on the Global Poker Live channel, as well as me and Toe. We all stream.
Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow, actually.
Yeah, he'll be streaming on Global Poker Live tomorrow, playing all the big events. He crushes. So yeah, let me put it out there for him. And then next week, Toe, can I give a spoiler for next week's guest?
We usually wait till Monday, but if you want to change it up, let's do it.
I can't help it because I see him in chat right now.
Oh, shit.
We're going to have Longo on the stream next week. Fellow stream team member of Global Poker Live, another crusher. He's an instructor, been a coach for a long time. So I'm very, very excited to have an opportunity to talk to my dude. I've been adoring this man from afar for 2 years now. So I'm excited to have him. DeLongo will be on next week's show. So stay tuned for the marketing on that. And yeah, man. Anything you want to add, Toe?
Yes, I've been putting commands in my chat, so make sure you follow Crazy Sixes. Make sure you
Oh.
follow me. Double check that you did it. Even Stone Life didn't realize he wasn't following me early today. So if he can fuck it up, you can fuck it up too. Make sure you're following. Follow me, follow Sixes, follow Stone Life. All those are in there. I put the Global Poker Live channel in there if you want to check them out. I generally host on Fridays. Sixes generally hosts on Thursdays, and Stone Life hosting this week on tomorrow, Sunday. So make sure you check all that out. !PC in my chat, !PC in Six's chat to get a link to sign up for free to pokercoaching.com, where you will get up to 20 quizzes, a bunch of homeworks, and big blind charts for 100 blinds or more. If you feel so inclined and sign up for the premium option, there are 900 quizzes and staking opportunities and full-on cash game courses and all of that shit. I think Sixes beat me. He eked me out on that one quiz. I think we were tied except for that one where he smoked me, and I think it was the second quiz. So I think he won today.
Yeah,
so
with the
sure
one
check
quiz,
that
I
out.
got you.
Also, I record all these, like I said. I put them on the YouTube channel. We have everyone we've ever done on there. So if you want to see anything we've done in the past with any of the guests we've had, Evan Jarvis, Matt Affleck, Ben on Drew, Snost, we have heaps. You can go check those out. If you have any questions at all, comment in that, and I will make sure you get back to that. And for me specifically, Tier 2 and Tier 3 subs, we have Subby Study Group right after this. What time is it? So give me like 10 minutes to use the bathroom and freshen up, and then we'll kick it off there as well.
I'll probably join that today. I'll probably join today for a little bit. I got a little free time, so more studying after this, sickos.
So shit.
But
all three of us streaming tomorrow too, so check us all out. That's all I got.
Yeah, Stone Life, you have anything you want to plug, add, say anything to both communities?
Oh no, nothing to plug.
Yeah,
but,
I mean,
this was awesome. I love what you guys were doing here. This is great.
Yeah, it was very nice having you, man, and it was very cool to finally get a chance to talk to you. And yeah, man, big fan of your work. Keep crushing the game, and we'll hopefully have you on again. And good luck out there, buddy.
Yeah, man, nothing but mad respect. Jellyfish says I feel 2 hours smarter, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, I learned a lot today. It was very good, man. You made some very good points, and I do appreciate that. We all get a little bit better from this, so it's awesome.
And it gives you an example too. Like we don't necessarily take the quizzes, but Sixes and I do this 5 days a week, one level or another. ICMizer, hand history reviews, posting marked hands, this kind of shit. So it gives you an idea how we study, so that you guys can study on your own too and get better.
Yep.
You gonna throw me the host so I can run the giveaway? Is that what's going on?
Yes, sir. So everybody in my channel, make sure to give Toe a follow, Stone Life, and we're gonna have Longo on next week. And Team Toe, I guess I'll see you guys in a few. And thank you guys for all the support. If you're new to the channel, hit that follow button here as well. And we'll be back with the study stream next week and plan a big ass schedule tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop that off to Toe. Thank you guys again, and I will catch you tomorrow, boys.
All right, brother. Good as always. I'll talk to you later.
Yep. See you, buddy.
Later. All right, guys. I'm gonna hang up this call, get the giveaway set up for you. And the ticket cost is going to be 0 for this, and you can get a max of 100. There you go. So, exclamation point, ticket, space, max. You'll start seeing them stroll through the chat. Six is coming up with the host. Thank you, homie. There it is. See, Holton Nuts just did it. Follow that. BQ. Quark getting in there. Ginger getting in there. Type in your ticket, space, max. Zerkster, thank you for the follow, buddy. Everybody getting in will do $10, either ACR or PayPal. If you win, make sure you whisper me and let me know your ACR screen name or your PayPal email address, and I will make sure you get paid. Boo! Yeah. Here come the follow. Senor Bean, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Get in there, yo. Get in there. Get your free shit.
Yeah. We don't die, we multiply.
We're still streaming in, guys. Here they come. All you crazy killers out there getting better together. I feel like today, I'm feeling it today. Just got to finish this weed whipping. Nice, Joe. Nice. I always like to do this kind of stuff too. Put an hour, maybe 2 before I start playing, because it gets your brain in that like playing mode, right? And you're kind of ready to rock. Here they come. Ticket max. Ticketmax, Ticketmax, Ticketmax. We'll let you guys stream on in. 28 people in this sucker so far. Did you say weed whip it? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's Saturday. You don't give a fuck. Hey, hold on. Yes, Skype for today, too, for the subby study stream. Coming in with a 7-month free sub. Thank you, my man.
We don't
Thank you. Update our subby goal here.
What?
Go. Jamie, thank you for the follow. Looks like they are starting to slow down here. T-Trip getting in there. Can't always be playing poker. It's important to study. It is important to study. All right, guys. I think we're going to wrap this one up. I should be prepared. I'll give you a couple seconds. I don't even know who I'm going to throw the host to yet. So while I figure that out, we'll give you a second. Oh, you know what? We haven't done this in a long time. Cool. How can you join the study group? So, Tier 2 and Tier 3 subs, we do a once-a-month study group. And if you want a once-a-week one, we do that here. All right, killing it. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Closing the giveaway. The winner is, drum roll, bang! This is a Travis. Congratulations on winning your $10. So, if you hit me up, I lost the name. This is a Travis. Hit me up, man, one way or another. Let me know your ASR screen name or your PayPal email address, and I will make sure you get paid. Thanks for everything, guys. We appreciate this. You guys are fucking awesome. This thing is just blowing up. We have amazing guests, Lango, next week. We have an amazing guest. After that, you know, I'll drop some clues a little bit. We may have some main event final table lists coming up, and we may have more than one. So that's all in the future. So make sure you are coming in, getting better, and all that. We are going to throw the host over to Mr. Party Time. Good friend of mine, Triple Threat, Thirst Lounge, Big Brother Canada extraordinaire, all around good guy. Don't forget, we will be back tomorrow. And that's it, yo. Travis, I see you in the chat. Make sure you hit me up with a way to get to your money, homie. And that's it. I will see you later. Peace.
Booyah!